Part 1 of Phil and Garrett Robinson's hike to Lake Fork Peak and Vallecito Mountain. We camp near Williams Lake. Part 1 focuses on Lake Fork Peak. Here we are on August 23rd, 2008, heading towards Lake Fork Peak, which is right there. A lot of boulders, so we're going to kind of get a panoramic view of things. Here's Garrett. How do. Up there, over that ridge, or that might even be it, be Wheeler Peak. We're not sure if that's a false ridge or not. Even though it's August, we see a little bit of snow in some of the pockets. Hidden back behind those trees is our going to be our third peak goal. But this peak, Lake Fork Peak, could be one of the most challenging peaks that we've gone up before. Thinking of going up that grass right there's our idea, and then work our way up the side. Anyway, it's a beautiful morning. We got started at about 7:15. Lake Fork Peak, elevation 12,881 feet, and Vallecito Mountain, elevation 12,643 feet. Part 1 of the videos will focus on Lake Fork Peak. My son Garrett Robinson and I started backpacking south of the Taos Ski Resort Saturday, August 23rd, 2008. From the ski area, the dirt road's a little rough for several miles to the parking area. In most cases, a passenger car should work, but a high clearance vehicle is recommended. We hiked on a nice trail, Williams Lake Trail 62, following a pretty little stream into the Wheeler Peak Wilderness. We went to Williams Lake. We set up a base camp southwest of the lake at a beautiful waterfall in a blue spruce forest. We hiked 2.6 miles for the day. Garrett brought along a very nice new Sierra Design 3-person tent. He set it up in a gorgeous setting in a little meadow surrounded by boulders with the highest peak of New Mexico as a backdrop. We set up a rain fly just in case we had a big rain. I brought a hammock along, and it sure was luxurious resting in it. We saw marmots in the area, and as happens many times, we were watched by curious gray jays. Garrett took a little nap, then we started a campfire, letting it burn down to the coals, which we then cooked 1-pound T-bone steaks over the embers. I brought my Dragonfly liquid stove, and we cooked rice-a-roni and had many bagels. Bagels are a great bread to take along backpacking because they don't get smashed. Wow, what a delicious meal. Things always taste better in the great outdoors. We re-stoked the campfire and enjoy sitting around it in the evening. We went to bed early, enjoying the beautiful sound of the waterfall all night. The second day, we started hiking at 7:15 a.m., planning to go up the cliff face of Lake Fork Peak. The skies were crystal clear blue. We had to hike over many boulders. We got about halfway up, and it began to feel a little risky. We did a little bit of rock climbing, and it looked like we were going to have to climb up the cliff face in a dangerous area, so we decided to go back down and around the south side of the peak and scramble up. Sometimes we had to scramble on all fours. We saw more marmots, and the peak meadow was covered with beautiful yellow and pink wildflowers. We made it to the top of beautiful Lake Fork Peak, elevation 12,881. We had the climbing elevation of 2,620 feet. Clouds were coming into the area. We saw a bighorn sheep from the top. My son and I debated whether to hike Vallecito Mountain or Peak 12,819. We decided to hike Vallecito. See part 2 for the rest of the story. Garrett and I just made the top of Lake Fork Peak, and the one peak in the distance one we're hoping to make today. And as we panorama across, there's old Mike Peak over there that we did last year, and over this direction is Wheeler Peak that we did 2 years ago. Beautiful view in all direction. In the far distance are some mountains Lauren and I did together with Sam and Daisy. And you get a big, just everywhere you can see, doesn't even look like there's anything but God's beautiful creation. That's a peak we're gonna try to make today. And the panorama. Anyway, so we're at the top of Lake Fork Peak and do a little panorama. Over there's another one we're going to try to make. See part 2 focusing on Vallecito Mountain.